to the video version of my journal. I'm Steffanie Rivers. Come on into the conversation. I am multicasting on several platforms, so you might be watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. Um, on whatever channel you're watching, whatever platform you're watching, we want to thank you for joining us. And if you are new to the channel, I know you're going to see something, hear something that you like. And I ask you to like, share, and subscribe so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first to know. And I do want to thank you to my growing list of subscribers. So, March is Women's History Month. And with so many notable women out there to celebrate who have made their mark, I think it's important for us to acknowledge women who are making great strides right now in present day. So that's why I've chosen to start this series off talking about someone who is trying to make things happen right now. Now, if you're an athlete or you have an athlete in the family, then most of them have the dream of going to the Olympics, competing in the Olympics. And so for some, it's merely a dream that never will be fulfilled. But for one young lady, she is making her dream a reality. And her name is Shenita Lawson, and she is a college sophomore. And I have chosen to start off the series with her because she's doing great things to make her dream of becoming an Olympic athlete, an Olympic contender. She's on the road to making that happen. So we want to welcome Miss Shenita Lawson to the show. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good.
And you know what? Someone was mentioning this to me about you. We watch you and your meets and everything, the videos, and you're so like strong and powerful. But when we talk, you're like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm good." And so I guess that's with most athletes or with anybody who performs, you turn it on and you turn it off. But we'll get to that. We want to welcome you and I just want to talk with you a little bit about how you got into wrestling because you've been doing this for quite some time. And I know you are taking a break right now from your training to talk with me about it. So I want to say thanks to you and congratulations on all of your achievements. So right now, Miss Shenita, you are attending college in Oregon.
Oregon.
So you are from Alabama, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you lived in Texas, and that was before getting a wrestling scholarship. So talk to us about how you got involved with liking wanting to wrestle. I know when I was growing up, I used to watch wrestling and I liked it, but I never thought, well, I want to be a wrestler. How did you get so involved that you felt like you wanted to be a wrestler?
When I was much younger, me, my mom, my dad, and my sisters, we would watch WWE. So that was my like I knew about that type of wrestling. I didn't
Uh-huh.
know about the wrestling that I do now. But once I got into high school, I wanted to wrestle like my ninth grade year of high school because I played like basketball, softball, and the wrestling coach at the time, he was telling me that it wasn't sanctioned in none of the high schools in Alabama at all for girls to wrestle, but he would let me come in during my sophomore year, like during that summertime, to wrestle with some of the guys. But unfortunately, COVID had happened, so we had to quarantine and we never went back to school. And then around September is when I had moved to Texas, and started to be on the wrestling team my junior year. And I was like 247 pounds, so I had to lose a lot of weight, but it was like a lot of like hard work, discipline, and just being consistent. But through it all, I just kept like losing weight, but also it just helped me out, just staying focused and just really doing my work and staying on top of everything to just continue to succeed. But it showed me that it was so much more like to life, and it created like different opportunities for me, and just traveling and seeing and meeting new like people and forming relationships really helped me out a lot. So that's how I started like off like with wrestling. But I used to be like a huge, and still I'm still am like a huge WWE fan. So that was like the wrestling I knew before I started wrestling
Right. And I think that's probably the
amateur.
wrestling I used to watch with I think one of my favorite wrestlers was Tony Atlas.
Oh yeah, I
Which
remember.
we're totally in two different generations, so you probably don't even know who these people are. But at any rate, so you started out. There was no girl wrestling in where in your
In Alabama.
area, and so you wrestled with the guys, or at least practiced with them, and that's probably what made you better at it, and then it helped you to stay in shape and lose weight. And then so you and your family moved to Texas, and then that's where you were able to get more involved in um,
Right.
organized wrestling. Is that what happened?
Yeah, but during back in Alabama, I didn't get a chance to wrestle with the men's team due to us like having to like evacuate like from school and everything, cuz that's when COVID-19 had just started up. So I didn't even get to like wrestle them during the summertime. So once I moved to Texas, that's when I originally like started to like wrestle and everything.
So was which was not that long ago.
Yeah.
So you showed promise and improvement very fast. And so at some point you got a scholarship to go. You got a wrestling scholarship for college.
Yes, ma'am. I had different offers. Oh, sorry, from different
No, no, no. Go
colleges.
ahead.
I had got like a lot of offers, but I ended up choosing Grandview University to go to my freshman year. Um, I had won like different awards and accolades there, and I All American, made it to nationals. I was third in my conference for Heart of America, and the NII nationals I placed fifth, and I also All American at U20s. I had placed eighth. So it was, I really accomplished like a lot, especially having to learn a new style, which was freestyle. Once you get into college for women's wrestling versus high school is folk style for both girls and boys.
So here's a picture of you and your mom, and she is so supportive of you, and you guys have the same name.
Yeah.
So you are you have won a number of regional uh, competitions. Talk to us about that. What are some of the you've won, and how is that helping you to qualify for the Olympics?
Um, ri- I'm right now. I'm in a college season. Recent. Also, I transferred to Southern Oregon during this past summer. Um, So I just recently won the Cascade Conference, which qualified me for nationals. I was my number one seed going into the tournament, and I kept it that way, ending it off at conference. So now this up and coming week, March 8th through the 9th, I'll be competing at NAI Nationals. So that'll be another way to qualify for the Olympic trials that'll be this up and coming April. And if I win, well, not if, I will win the NAIA national tournament for my weight class 170. I'll be able to, that'll be like, I'll be able to qualify for the Olympic trials.
Okay. So, did you ever, and then let me show the videos first. I'm going to show a video, I think, of you accepting the award because for the conference championship that you just won. And then there's a video of you in action. So, let me bring that up and let's see if we can. Okay, this is going to be you. Let me make sure we're seeing it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. This is your mom's Facebook page. So she has given us permission to show it. And this is you
At the
accepting. So that's now which was this past weekend in California, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So were you there representing your college, or is this a separate event where it just helps you to qualify? How were you able to, if you're in Oregon, is that like it was a conference competition?
It's our conference, so within NAIA colleges, you have like within certain areas, you have different colleges. So this is only for college. This one is only for the college, but once I get to NAIA nationals, once I win it for my weight class, then I
Mhm.
qualify for the Olympic trials that'll be coming up in April. But it's also another qualifier, which is the last chance qualifier. But with that tournament, nobody that's from that's already qualified can compete in that tournament. So that'll be
Okay.
like the last one to qualify for the Olympic trials in April. But in this video, I was representing Southern Oregon University, which is the college I attend to.
Mhm.
But I'm also a New York Athletics Club member, which is also like, once I compete like outside of the college stuff nationally, that's who I'm sponsored by.
Oh, okay. So you have sponsors. That's great. So we'll talk more about if someone wants to sponsor you or an organization. In the meantime, let's go to this video that shows you in action. So you're the shorter one. You're away from camera right now
Oh,
in the blue shorts. Okay. So you took her down. So you're on the right side.
yeah, that's me.
So what are you guys doing right now? You're just trying to get leverage and trying to bring her down.
Yes, she shoots on me, but I was just staying in my stance the whole time and moving around. So you have to make sure you stay within your stance. And she had took a shot, and I tried to throw it the opposite way, but the momentum actually made me like um to where like she was on top, so I had to out of the out of from getting like pinned. So which I did, and I ended up reversing it and pinning her. So like usually you're supposed to sprawl once they shoot, but the way like we were positioned, I just threw it. But um I'll say it's just like, just no matter what position you is, just keep fighting to get off your back.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps out a lot. Just remembering those key factors, even if you're down like a few points, just still wrestle, stay consistent, and staying in position is key. And just like, don't let that like win a match. Oh, they have four, whether you ranked high or not, like just get in there and wrestle the way you wrestle. The same way you wrestle in practice, wrestle that way when you're in competition and matches.
And speaking of practice, I understand that you have special coaches in Colorado near the Olympic training facility. And how did you come to their attention? What was it about you that you think stood out for them to say, we want to coach her and try to help her to get to the Olympics and to win?
I'll say I met them during the time I needed a coach. My senior year of high school, I was getting ready to compete for girls folk styles nationals, and I didn't have a coach during that time. And so my mom was calling around in Colorado to see if it was any coaches to coach me, or like any clubs. That way I would be able to get my training in once I got there. And so um a guy had connect her with my coach Joe Betterman and his wife Deanna Betterman, and they were willing to help me out and coach me, and let me like come to their club and train. So that's how we originally met and got connected. So we've been connected ever since then. And they actually stay in Colorado Springs, which is where the Olympic facility is at as well. So I'll go there during spring break to go train at his club, and they just help me with different things, and also like my goals and aspirations I want to to achieve and accomplish. So that's been a huge help. And I also got invited out to the Olympic facility last last year after I had All American at U20s. So I stayed at the Olympic facility for a week, and I got to like train with senior level athletes and different athletes um across the states. So it was really cool to be able to just wrestle different senior level athletes. And I got to wrestle Adeline Gray, which was really nice. She's an Olympian, and she has so many accomplishments as well too. So I just really look forward to like going back there again and getting to wrestle them. So it helps me out a lot when I do travel and compete at these national tournaments. It helps out like a lot. But I definitely thank my personal coaches, because whenever it's national tournaments outside of the college tournaments, they always help me out. It's always a place to train. He even said I was his own daughter, and he's a huge help. Him and his wife, Coach Deanna Bannerman, as well. They're like another family to me. So they really take care of me, like whenever like I need them, call them. So it helps. They help me out like a lot, and just giving me advice, because they actually used to wrestle and they have so many accolades as well, and they know what it takes to achieve those goals, and they help me out a lot.
So when you just mentioned when you are traveling, representing the your college, your uh, uh, a university, they of course they take care of your expenses. But some of the competitions you don't have the luxury of them paying for your expenses. So do athletes, do you need sponsors? Do you have sponsors? How can, if someone, if an organization or a business or an individual wants to support you in your Olympic endeavors, how can we do that? Do you have some type of fund set up or an account? How might they reach you if they want to help you with that?
Also reaching me through my email, and also like Instagram or Facebook's, or Facebook. That's the usual. I'll say definitely like emailing me to that way I can like look everything, or just like getting in contact, whether it's calling me, but just like telling me like what the business is about, and everything, just like helping me out. So I feel like it'll help out, like if they reach through me like through email. That way I could get like more information and everything, but also calling just to be able to talk to them um
So
as well.
then, is your email address lawsonshanita98 at gmail.com?
Yes, ma'am. And it's all lowercase.
Oh, okay. Well, and I put I put
Yeah.
Lawson Shanita. Is that right?
Mhm.
Is
It's
that
just they're all
mhm.
like the
Okay?
L and the S just lowercase, but that's the correct email. But that's an way to like reach me if it's any
Hopefully, okay.
sponsors.
I think I'm sorry.
Oh, can you
I'm
hear me?
changing it to put it lowercase.
Oh,
All righty. Okay, so there you go. Lawson Shanita 98 at gmail.com if they want to contact you. So what are some of the things that you might need help with, like uniforms, shoes, hotels, registration fees? What are some of the things that normally someone like you who's trying to get to the next level needs help with?
I would say as far as like my getting like shoes, because like when I compete and wrestle, like, and then I have to practice and work out, like it's it'll be time for me to get new shoes. I wear headgear as well too, so um and especially when I travel, whether it's for camps, I get invited to go to camps, or just traveling for wrestling competitions. I've money, like have being able to have sponsors that'll help out with that, and registration, because starting off like when I was a freshman, um I wasn't sponsored like at all, so it helped out. I'll say like, so I would have to like try to like figure out like different ways. Oh, how can I pay for this? Because the college that I was attending to, they only paid for my hotel. So when it was like national stuff outside of college, like I would have to try to like find a way, like, oh, how can, I pay for this and that. My mom, she always made like a way for me. But that was something that like sponsorships, just being able to have sponsorships from different companies or just donations, it really helps out a lot to just achieve those different goals, but also have the money go towards my gear. And when I travel, having to like pay for food and stuff when I go to these different states. And as well as just like getting Ubers to like drive to the facility. And I feel like that will help out like a lot during that time, like, because I didn't have like sponsorships.
So I encourage other business owners and just individuals who see the potential in what Miss Shenita Lawson is doing, and how we can support her in that. I encourage you to do that, and I have a company, TCB Drones, and I am going to sponsor Miss Shenita Lawson um, as well. So I'll donate $1,000 to Miss Lawson to help her in her endeavors to get to these competitions and get everything, because it takes more than just talent to make things happen. If that's how it starts. But then in order for you to get to the next level, in order for you to compete, it takes money and time and energy, and that takes that's expensive. That can be expensive.
Yeah.
And so I realized that you can't sponsor everybody, you can't give to
Mm.
everybody. But I know that she has been in this for some time, and it's not like something that she's just doing this week and next week she's doing something else and the next week she's doing something else. I see that I want to see her in Paris. Is that your goal, to be in Paris for the Summer Olympics 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's
Well,
my goal.
okay. So I want to help make that happen. So if you and I want to challenge other business owners, if you have a business and you're a woman or a man, but especially women business owners, if you're out there and you see this, or you know someone, if you're watching this and you see this and you know somebody who has a business and they like supporting young people in their endeavors, and seeing one of our own make it to the Olympics and have her dreams come true, then I want to challenge you to sponsor her as well. At least $1,000. If you can't do 1,000, 100, 500, something like that. It all adds up. If 10 people give her $1,000, then she can just not have to worry about the expense of doing all it takes, because that's another thing. You're like, well, I know I can beat the person, I know I can compete, I know I can win, but I don't have the money to get there, and all travel expenses and all of that. So hopefully we can get a few more individuals, organizations, and business owners to be your sponsor. So I'll put her email address back up there. And so I know you're young in your career. Um, where do you see this going after the Olympics? Is it a chance for you to then you become an endorser of products, and that's how it works? You first, I don't even know if they put people on the Wheaties box anymore, but that
Uh,
used to be the thing where if you were an Olympic hopeful or Olympic winner, they put you on the Wheaties box. Like, what are your goals after the Olympics?
I'll say after the Olympics, still continue want to wrestle, but I definitely want to be able to collab with different businesses and get more endorsement deals. But I want to also give back to my community, going back to my roots, which is Alabama, and just being like a speaker as well, and just letting young girls know that look just like me, of any color, any race, just letting them know that you can do it. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. It no matter what background or environment that you're used to, like, just break that cycle of what people may think your life is going to be like, because mine changed. I didn't know I would like ever move to Texas, and just being able to get an opportunity like wrestling, it really changed your whole like mindset of everything, how you view the world. So that's something I definitely want to do. And even now, like, it doesn't have to be after the Olympics. I'll just like just starting now as a college athlete, I want to continue to just give back to my community. I want to travel. host different camps for young girls as well, to help them out, or just anybody that has the same goals as me, trying to reach their Olympic dream, far as like qualifying, and just letting them know like anything you put your mind to, you can do it. I don't care if people say, "Oh, that's impossible." Like, you can, it's possible. Like, anything you put your mind, with hard work, discipline, consistency, you can do it and achieve it. So that's something I want to do now, starting now, and afterwards.
That's awesome. So what I'm going to do is, if let's say you go to the Olympics and you win a medal, then we'll collaborate and you can be a celebrity endorser of TCB drones or
Yes.
something like that. We can put together some promotional items, commercials for you to help you with that. And yeah, because your mom said that you wanted to get into broadcasting and
Oh,
public
yes.
speaking, so we can help introduce you, get you some public, some speaking engagements. We can certainly work on that. So I appreciate you again. So the next competition is what, next week that you'll be competing in California. Is that where you're going?
This time I'll be going to Jamestown, North Dakota. So I leave out this up and coming Wednesday. I compete on March the 8th and 9th. It'll be NAIA Nationals. And also, I forgot to mention, after that, I'll be competing for U20s and U23s. And with that competition, um, it's usually the top the top three people. Um, you can, if you place in the top three, you can either be go to Pan Am's or World. So I also want to make sure like I place in those top categories for U20s and both U23s. I want to compete in both of them, because they're during the same week. So being able to compete in that and just represent your country, it means a lot to me. So I want to do that. I have like a lot of goals, and I want to be able to like reach them and achieve them. So I set different goals for myself, um, for wrestling and outside of wrestling. So just being able to do that and represent my country, that's something that I look forward to doing. So I'm a be training for that right after nationals.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, what advice would you give? Well, and you just said that you would just have people to women of all nationalities and races to just believe in yourself and do. Sometimes when people don't think you can do something, that's even more motivation for you to try to make it happen. It always is for me, always has been for me. And then I would just say use that as fuel for your fire to accomplish things that people thought you couldn't. But also don't you can't wait for people to like you or hate you or love you or push you. You just have to have self-motivation, and I see that in you. And then your mom is adorable as well as you, and so
Thanks.
you just great people. So I want to support people who I see in them are going to do it regardless. So any closing comments before we? Is there a way for us to see what you're doing live with the competition in North Dakota? Will we be able to see that on a certain ESPN channel or something?
They stream our wrestling for nationals, NAIA nationals. They stream it on Flow Wrestling. I know some people say you can get on there through Facebook, but with some people you have to have a membership. But I'll make sure I record, have someone record all of my matches and make sure it gets posted, and I'll like send it to my mom as well. She always posts my stuff.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
All righty, ma'am. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll let you get back to practice. Hopefully, we'll have you on again to talk about right before you go to the Olympics, or you're on the try. What is
To
it called?
try to qualify for the Olympic trials. And with the Olympic trials tournament, that's you're competing against different people like within your own country to place in within that weight class that you want, because they only take only one like person from the
From each weight
US
class?
with, yes, in your weight class. So it's six
Okay.
weight classes for the women's freestyle team, so they only take one. So the one I'll be competing, the one once I win NAIA nationals, I'll qualify for the Olympic trials, which is the tournament to secure your spot for the Olympics, 2024 Paris Olympics.
Wow. So, and that's just around the corner. So,
Yeah.
we look forward to seeing you there, and we'll keep up with you as much as we can, but we'll certainly look for the reposts. So, thanks again, and you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you, everyone.
Olympic trials. To find out more about the things that I care about, you can go to the written version of my journal. That's at eurweb.com. Thank you and have a